Now to talk about all this, Democratic member of Congress Karen Bass of California. Representative, thank you so much for being with us. Have you read, by the way, the Republican memo?
No, and I'm not on the House Intelligence Committee. I'm on House Foreign Affairs, however.
They have made it public, available to every member of Congress to read, should they want to read right now. Based on what you know is inside it, and based on your role on judiciary, do you think that this is the type of memo that should be released?
Well, I think it would be fine to release the memo, but, you know, I do believe that the Republicans are really treading in dangerous ground when they are using this as a reason to essentially undermine the investigation, and at the end of the day, it's definitely to go after Mueller. So I don't like the direction that they're headed. I think the investigation should be allowed to move forward, and concocting a conspiracy within the FBI, I believe, is a complete distraction.
You say it's an effort to go after Mueller. Do you think that the special counsel, do you think the special counsel needs legislative protections right now, which is something that has been proposed?
I do. I think that that would be a good idea. And to me, it's very similar to the legislation that was done around sanctions regarding Russia, and we're going to wait and see what happens with that. But because Congress did not have the confidence in the president to impose sanctions, you know, we did legislation that essentially we could override a veto. But I think that in the same way, we need to have that protection, because it's no telling what the president is going to do one day to the next.
The deadline on those sanctions, and you mentioned the House Foreign Affairs Committee also, the deadline on that sanction is today, and we're waiting. We're waiting, frankly, to find out, you know, where the president, if the president places these sanctions by the end of business today. Let's shift gears, if we can, to tomorrow night. The State of the Union address is tomorrow night. Will you be attending?
You know, I haven't decided. If I don't go, it's not as an act of protest. If I choose not to go, it's really because I don't know whether or not I feel like subjecting myself to listen to the president lie, which I believe he will do, and also to insult everybody under the sun. I'm sure he will be insulting immigrants with the policy that he's going to put forward, and I have no doubt that he will come after African Americans, since he seems to take every opportunity to do that.
So let's split that into parts, right?
Sure.
First, let's talk about immigrants right now, because I imagine what he will do is he will speak out in support of his plan right now on the immigration deal he's supporting, which does offer a path to citizenship for more than 1.5 million so-called dreamers. A path to citizenship, which is a lot further than some Republicans want to go. If Democrats don't enter into this deal, how would you explain to one of those dreamers that you walked away from it?
Well, I do think that part of his deal is fine, but I think that where we need to negotiate is over dreamers and border security. What he has done, and I believe it's very deliberate, instead of proposing comprehensive immigration reform, he's going after legal immigration as part of it as well. So to put family unification and to put visa lottery on the table, that is a very intentional attempt to divide people, because the visa lottery system, which clearly he doesn't understand, a large percentage of those immigrants are from Africa, and so he is dividing people. It's very deliberate. I think we need to deal with the issues, which are the dreamers and border security, and then I think we need to address comprehensive immigration reform, and that's where issues related to legal immigration should come to play.
All right. Let's talk about race, because you brought it up directly, and let's talk about, I think, what is the most recent episode having to do with race where the president was involved, and it just happens to be about something that happened on CNN with Jay-Z, the musician, you know, hip-hop artist, who was on with Van Jones over the weekend. Listen to the exchange between Van and Jay-Z over the issue of black unemployment, which is at an historic low. Listen.
Because it's not about money at the end of the day. Money is not, doesn't equate to like happiness. It doesn't. That's not missing the whole point. You treat people like human beings, and then you know, that's the main point. You can't treat someone like, it goes back to the whole thing. You're gonna treat me really bad and pay me well. Right.
Yeah, that's
it's not gonna lead to happiness. It's gonna lead to, like, you know, again, the same thing. Everyone's gonna be sick.
So the president's response was a statement on Twitter that reads, "Somebody please inform Jay-Z that because of my policies, black unemployment has just been reported to be the lowest rate ever recorded." Now, black unemployment is, in fact, low.
It is, but I believe it has absolutely little to do with his administration. We all know that the economy was doing better. It was on an upswing. black unemployment was decreasing, and it was due to policies that were started in the Obama administration. Trump, from the first day of his presidency, has tried to roll back gains that the African-American population made in the civil rights movement, whether you're talking about voting rights, mass incarceration, you can go down the list, trying to dismantle the civil rights division within the Department of Justice, the notion of black identity extremists to go after young African-Americans who are protesting around police abuse. So his administration, in my opinion, has been an attack on the African-American population from day one, and he doesn't let a month go by without attacking African Americans. So I think he wants us to be grateful for the fact that our unemployment rate is down, even though it is still twice as high as the unemployment rate for white Americans, and the fact that the economy is getting better. I do not believe it's due to his policies, and I don't think that we have anything to be grateful for to his administration.
All right, Representative Karen Bass, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.